They say that in order to see the real Vietnam, you've got to do it on two wheels. At places like Da Nang are just the tip of the iceberg. Well-cultivated economy is meant to make foreigners feel more at home. But I'm not here as a tourist or an expat. I see myself more now as an immigrant, with no plans on returning home unless life really compels me to. So that's what I'm calling myself now, an immigrant. Here to learn, moving at a pace of 114cc engine, trying to understand my place in a country that's so much more than a digital nomad's haven. In my last video I explained that I was going to be heading south with no solid plans, just seeing where the road takes me and followed my gut. That's exactly what I did. I stopped in small towns and drank with the locals, rode through small villages surrounded by rice fields, and explored cities that I, and likely you, have never even heard of before, all the while drinking and trying the local food along the way. I've now stopped at my first longer term destination, Nha Trang, a place that I've always thought of as Da Nang's older sister city, but this video is looking at the journey I took to get here. I officially checked out of my apartment in Da Nang around about noon. I was hoping to get an earlier start, but I had to wait for the landlord to come around and do an inspection, but thankfully I got my deposit back with minimal fuss. As a side note, the apartment I was renting, I found out it's actually back on the market for 4.5 million dong extra a month than what I was paying. So all these rumours about Da Nang being more and more expensive, they're true. It's crazy, as I was leaving I just met a neighbour of mine, apparently lived here for a full year. I've never ever met the guy. He's complaining about Da Nang being cooked and he hates the place now and he's moving on. I was like, okay, each their own I suppose. Actually I asked him, well, where to next? Where do you reckon's the go-to now that Da Nang's have been discovered? And he refused to tell me. Bit of a weird bloke. Oh, I'm used to having more room. Okay, so where are we going? Tell you what, it's hot today. We're going to Quang Ngai. Quang Ngai? Pupon Homestay and Coffee. 121 kilometers away. Straight away I can feel that weight distribution is better than the last time I tried this. If you looked at my last video, I told you guys that I tried to leave to go on a bit of a motorcycle tour of Vietnam probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I nearly had a head on with a bus and a truck at the same time. Today, however, I hope not to do that. With the deposit back in my pocket and my bike Jimmy, a Yamaha PG-1 all packed up, I finally hit the road. The night before I jumped on a Goda and booked a hotel in a small city called Quang Ngai. I'm almost certainly mispronouncing the name of that city. That's something we're both going to have to get used to because I'm going to be traveling a lot and Vietnamese is not my first nor my second language, so mistakes are going to be made. Happily the journey was uneventful. I stopped a couple of times to grab a drink at a roadside cafe and adjust my camera equipment, but most importantly just to get some feeling back my ass. Oh, that was a lovely little stop. I'll tell you what, I needed it. I'm getting a little bit cramped. How long we got? 65 kilometers. We're going about 40 kilometers an hour, so it's not going to take an hour 20. It'll take longer than that. So I should get there about 4 o'clock-ish, with any luck. I'm on the wrong side of the road. What's going on here? Why is there... I'm confused. Is that a goat or a cow? Weird goat things. God, he's got big... Look at the size of them nuggets. He must have a bad back. The roads were surprisingly smooth with minimal construction, but by the time I pulled into the homestay, I was pretty drained. It turns out that weeks of bed rest and recovery from my previous journey, the one involving a pair of Crocs, no gloves and a hard interaction with the tarmac, had seriously impacted my endurance. The next day I set out to see what Quang Ngai was all about. It started as all good days in Vietnam do, with a coffee that I found on Google Maps. Okay guys, it's the next morning here in Quang Ngai, and I think it's time I go get a coffee. A very good sleep, despite a slightly noisy air conditioner. My glasses are fogging up. Gonna be one of them days, is it? Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to day 2 of Quang Ngai. I thought I'd start my day off by trying to find a nice coffee place, and then we'll see what we can find here in Quang Ngai, what the place has to offer. I was having a bit of a squeeze last night, and to be honest with you guys, it doesn't look like there's a crazy amount here, That's just from looking at Google Maps, so God knows. So far it seems like a peaceful little place. Potentially good for some photography maybe.
No surprises, it was incredible. I then wandered into a random street stall to try some mysterious soup filled with equally mysterious meat. Lately I've been leaning more into photography. I find that it's a good way to capture those tiny details that often get lost in the noise of a video. After the soup I went for a slow stroll, snapping a few frames of local life along the way.
Just realised that my GoPro, as I was walking around taking photos, kept on overheating because I've changed the settings to be like 5.3K and boost everything up. And whilst on my helmet it's fine because I get the airflow, but on my chest it kept on overheating and turned itself off. So I've made a couple of changes, hopefully it stays on this time. What we'll do, we'll finish this coffee off, wait for the GoPro to stop, let it cool down a bit. And then I'm going to go see if we can find some of the local dish. It's like mini mussels, don something or another soup. So we'll go for a walk back, take some more photos, and then see if we can find some lunch.
I did make a bit of a technical error though. I made the mistake of leaving the ND16 filter on the chest mounted GoPro, so between that and potentially the shutter settings, the whole footage came out a bit shaky.
Come on. Thank you.
It is a frustrating lesson, but it is one that I've tucked away for the next leg of the journey.
I'd like to get into film photography, but travelling around like I am now, I'm not so sure how that would work. You're happy with it. Hello, ciao. Oh, this is the garlic from Ireland. It's pretty. I don't know what it is. Looks like a playground bit. Burns my knees, that's hot. Is that Hemingway? It is. I love Hemingway.
That afternoon I jumped back on Jimmy to try and find a local dish called Don. It's a soup made with tiny clams topped with onions and scallions. They give you like a side of rice paper which you crumble on top. When you put the rice paper in, it sort of turns it into this slimy texture, which matched with the onions and the seafood flavour can be a bit of a challenge. Then I made the mistake of biting into a chili.
Cavalier, you didn't used to be so cavalier.
With a long ride ahead of me and a goal of an early start, I had one last look at the city under the Quang Ngai sunset and then headed in for the night.
To be so cavalier. Barefoot in the truck.
Okay. We're now heading south to... I'm not sure. Somewhere south. Oh, I was going to stop and get a coffee, but I kind of just want to get moving. I probably should go around that. Let's put on... Give me a good playlist today. Nah. I'm all fueled up. Got some water. Tell you what, woke up this morning to the news of everything that's going on in the world. The fuel crisis, which I was already aware of, but I need to keep an eye on that. That could really affect my travel plans. Anyway, something to keep an eye on.
The ride to Hoai Tan was easily the most beautiful of the trip so far, which is easy to say considering it's only just begun. But it's exactly what I came here for. A blur of green rice fields, a deep blue sky, and a coastline that just seemed untouched. Hoai Tan itself was a nice surprise. A sleepy little fishing village that would have been all too easy to miss if I wasn't actually looking for a place to sleep. So after checking into my hotel, I decided to go by a roadside noodle place to recharge before exploring the town further. In all honesty, this is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been in my entire life. Look, I know I just got here, but that ride in with those boats was phenomenal. Very interesting beach. Reminds me of something back home. Beach that you surf at, and ones that are just like this. Just go on for miles and miles on end. Alright, let's go have a look at those boats. It's a bit of a hike, but ultimately I think worth it. Due to the heat, I'm going to turn the camera off between shots because it's a great camera, but they do get warm. Oh, hello. Hi. Ciao. Ciao. That's nice too. Stairs.
Tell you what, it's hot. 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's not cold. It's not. Nice, please. Maybe photographer's wet dream. House. Beautiful. Ciao. Better? Come on. My grandfather's workshop. Xin chào. This is your front garden, right? Tweak. Xin chào. How are you doing? I don't understand. Just take a walk. Oh yeah, I'll be. Where you at?
This is where things became interesting, and my inability to speak Vietnamese became more of a challenge. I was ushered into this space, and to this day I'm still not sure if it was someone's home or the back of a workshop. Either way, the beer was flowing, food was getting thrown on my face, and someone was raising a toast or cheersing to one thing or another every few minutes. Confusion really set in when I was politely told it's time to leave as they were pouring me a drink. And then when I did try to leave again after that, I was told to sit down, and insistently they gave me another beer. It was awkward, it was confusing. I'm still not quite sure if I committed some form of social faux pas, if the party was just winding down, or if the man with the moustache, who was clearly hammered, was getting a little bit too emotional for the room.
That was an interesting experience. I'm not sure what happened there. Invited me to come in for a drink. And then one of the guys seemed to get a little bit emotional there towards the end. And then I got ushered out. I think I got ushered out? I have no idea. All I know is I drank a bunch of their beer at their invitation. And then I had to leave.
Either way, I made my way out the door, headed back to the hotel and sobered up. That way I was going to be crisp and clear-headed the next day for a longer journey.
Bit of a longer trek today. That's good, I get to stick to the coast. Nice easy day. Oh no. Bye bye. This is a very pretty place, but I'm sort of glad to get out of here. After my strange evening yesterday. Still can't figure out what went wrong with those guys. Playing it through my head. Started thinking to myself, well, I should try and think of an exit strategy. And then the guy's like, oh, you leave now and I leave. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll leave. Which strikes me as odd, considering they were just pumping me full of alcohol, giving me a cigarette, and insisting I keep on eating food. The only thing I think of is that one guy who was very, very drunk. He seemed to be getting a little bit stroppy. Maybe there was a perceived slight there somewhere along the line. Either way, I didn't mean to. But I'm sort of glad to get out of here just to sort of see the next place, put that strange memory behind me, see what Quang Ngai has to offer. I am a bit of a sensitive guy, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't like upsetting people if I can avoid it. And the idea of, being rude to some local host is quite upsetting to me. But I'll get over it.
I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking the whole thing, which is a bit of a habit of mine. I just don't like the idea of offending anyone or causing a scene. Either way, I put some miles between myself and Hoai Tan and allowed the road to do what it does best, which is get me out of my own head.
You can take that crazy jet from Newark to LA.
The scenery was stunning and strangely diverse. One moment I was cruising through lush green rice fields, and the very next I was traversing barren coastlines lined with cactus. Felt like moving through a hyper-realistic Minecraft server, transitioning from one biome to the next in a way that felt surreal.
Ain't no lie you can say to save you now.
Immediately I liked the vibe of Quy Nhon. It's not too busy, it's clean, but it still has its own character. I dropped my bags off at the hotel and went out to try and find a nice quiet place for a drink.
You went and took that flight, a trip. But that trip didn't stick. 'Cause when running away is what you're known for, you can't expect the roar at the door. 'Cause there's no lie, ain't no lie.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Tell you what, this city is pretty impressive as well. Yeah, it's so diverse when it comes to, you know, one minute you're in the sticks, the next minute you're in a big city, then back on the beach, then a desert area covered in cactus, then a coconut tree forest. It's all over the shop. So what I'm gonna do, Xin Chao, head back to the hotel room, put some stuff on the charge, head out to try and find some street food, then go from there. Not too sure. We'll see.
Wide awake in a spell, smoking like a signal in a dream.
Nice.
Silver dollar sinking down, and dizzy lightness in between. I found you just like an open window inside a new shade of green. I could live under the sun.
Owner of the last bar I was at, he's like, you need to come here and try the food. He's like, it'll be the guy with the red hat cooking on the side of the street, so give it a shot.
Baby, your color.
Yeah, put this in here and that in there. Come on. I understand the mission. Here's in there. Like so.
White roses, halfway in the field.
Burrito. A peanut and sesame seed sauce.
Cutouts in the darkness, I can see you still climbing up the corners of your flame.
That's really nice.
Make me into
I spent the rest of the evening wandering the city, sampling some local beers and a deconstructed banh mi before heading back to the hotel to get my 8 hours. I wanted to be ready for whatever biome came next the following day.
every word we have quietly spoken.
98 kilometers today, which is a happy middle. Not too short, not too long, just right. It is a scorcher today. Yeah, I forgot to put a sunblock on, and there ain't no f***ing way I'm digging through my bags again just to pull it out. I might later, but not now. Oh, well, I've enjoyed my stay here, brief as it may have been, and I'm probably going to get a little bit sunburnt today. I might have to pull over at some stage and put the sunblock on. It's just such a pain in the ass taking all that off again, you know, especially in this heat. Where we're going today is the last stop before Nha Trang, and from what I can see on the map, it's a city similar size to this, so hopefully there's some places I can sort of hang out in the afternoon.
This was, without a doubt, the best ride of the trip. I think I was starting to hit my stride a bit more, learning to stop for regular caffeine hits and to rehydrate. It was starting to get real stay inside at noon hot in Vietnam.
Dancing in the sun showers, standing tall with wildflowers. Under the shape of us, the love remains 'cause it's ours. Another timeline, looking at different skylines. Another shape of us, I'll find you.
Eventually I found myself in a tiny village, so I stopped and asked the local if I could send the drone up to get a sneaky shot. And I'm glad I did. Watching the wind rip through the rice fields like that made me feel like I was in a Studio Ghibli movie.
I can feel it when I'm dreaming back. We've done this all before. Different faces, single feeling. You're the one I'm looking for. Every time I start to lose you, something pulls me back again. We can find new beginnings. It always starts the same.
I did manage to get slightly lost when a bridge that was meant to exist just didn't. But that's the nature of this trip, I suppose. For some reason my GPS kept on taking me off the beaten path and through these back areas. I'm not complaining, I mean, it's part of the reason I'm here.
Well, that's a problem. Oh well. Oh, hopefully I can go back around that way.
Another shape of us, I'll find you in every lifetime.
Time flew by and before I knew it I was in Tuy Hoa, which was a strange place which sort of felt abandoned in many areas.
Some showers, standing tall with wildflowers. Another shape of us, the love remains 'cause it's ours. Another time.
Arrived at a place called Tuy Hoa, and I've got to be honest with you guys, it feels a bit dead. Wouldn't be surprised if I'll come into town, saw some tumbleweeds, but I'm going to see if I can't find someone to have some food. It's going on 2 o'clock now and I haven't eaten all day and I'm hungry, but it doesn't look like there's much going on in this town. Like, it's big, it looks like it was set up for like a whole bunch of people to live here and then just no one came. Or the other way around, there was a bunch of people living here and then now they all left. They all went to Da Nang. But no, I only just got here and I'm hungry, so let's find somewhere to eat first before I judge the place.
What's the angle? I'm not playing that game. It's the same business with a different name.
All the buildings are colossal, but there's no one here. It's a really weird vibe to the place. Sterile. A bit lifeless due to lack of life. Wonder why this place is here. Like, what's this deal? I have to look that up.
I don't want any of that. I'll just take my chances. No thanks, not now. I made it this far somehow. I'll just take my chances.
I must say it's a good view. Because now a lady decided she wanted a video with me. One of those trends where like they'll have the music in the background and they make a video out of it. I'm not explaining that well. Like one of those TikTok trends. This is the first thing I've eaten today. Ordered sausage and cheese sticks. Nice and healthy. But nothing much was available. Oh, hello again.
Đẹp lắm,
Yeah?
đẹp lắm.
Oh, nice. There's TikTok?
TikTok đấy,
Oh, TikTok.
mà đẹp đấy.
Right, okay. Very good.
Đẹp.
Ryan. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Em không hiểu được.
Okay. Thank you. Very nice lady. Check out this.
The food was a bit more of a gamble here. The cheese sticks and the sausages that I ordered at this bar were frankly gross, but the pizza place I found next wasn't too bad. It was edible at least. After a quick call back home, I went for more of a wander and found a quiet place for a drink. So I found this place called The Lab, and I ran into the owner as I was walking in, a guy called Biomes. I go up, there's a bunch of art for you to have a look at, sit down, have a coffee or a drink, hang out here. This is where the expats in this area come and hang out, so looks pretty interesting so far. Very interesting. I like that. Ow. I like that too, and that. Yes. I'm assuming they're prints. Yeah. If not, I was going to say someone's bloody talented. Okay, so it looks like there's a bit going on here. I need to make a decision because tomorrow I've got to get to Nha Trang and I need to figure out how long I want to stay in Nha Trang for, and then to Dalat is after Nha Trang. So how long do I want to stay in each place? Because I need to edit this video, and I also want to get enough footage to look at Nha Trang and Dalat as well. And then the question is, after that, where do I go? I'm thinking Phu Quoc, but that's just an aiming point. I don't think I want to go back up north again yet for a little while. I'm enjoying this whole riding, exploring Vietnam thing, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look now. Book a hotel for tomorrow, and then I guess brainstorm what comes next. We'll figure it out. Either way, decent view here, cold beer. It was only after 2 bottles of beer that I realised just how badly I burnt my neck over the last few days. So I managed to find a place that sold me half a bottle of used moisturiser, headed back to the hotel and sculled a bunch of water. I wanted to have a nice early night so that I was ready to go first thing tomorrow for the final leg of the journey.
Whoa, so it's 9:30 this morning, and it is already quite warm. Today's a longer day to get to where we're going, so I thought we'd leave on time, not that we don't normally, and because I've got to get a little bit of fuel, and then we'll start the long journey. But this is the last long ride for a little while. There we go. So this was an interesting little city, very desolate. Alright, let's fuel up and we'll get out of here. Full, yeah, come on. 80. Exact. Again, 80. Come on. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go.
After a quick stop to refuel, I was ready to go for the final leg of the journey, a 130 kilometre run down to Nha Trang. This was going to be my final destination for a little while. I want to take some time to stop, soak in the city, and of course edit this video that you're watching now. I won't go into detail around about the beautiful scenery on the ride. I think you get the idea. It is Vietnam after all, it's pretty much always beautiful. And I won't go into detail around my thoughts on Nha Trang quite yet either, because I just got here and frankly, I have no idea. Like I said earlier, in my mind Nha Trang is sort of like the original Da Nang, the place that digital nomads and tourists flocked to before the word Da Nang got out. Not that I'm complaining about that, obviously. I mean, that'd be hypocritical for me to complain about that particular subject. But if you do want to know a bit more about Nha Trang before I head up into Dalat, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.